Hey, how's it going, everyone? So we're on day 26 of Hormone Bootcamp, and I've had quite the week, but we're still continuing on, and I'm actually glad that what went on this week happened because I get to share with you in real time what I do whenever I encounter challenges myself. So one of the things that I want to talk about is, well, two things. I want to tell you about, what I'm going to be doing as far as cleanse that I'm working on. And so the cleanse that I'm working on is actually, it's advanced. So it's not something that it's, something that, I'm going to be talking about much for this boot camp. But it's something that I talked about in the past before. But before I get to that, one of the things that I want to talk about is gluten. Okay, so there is a difference between having gluten sensitivity and having a straight up allergic reaction to gluten. Right? And this is one of the things that, I was trying to talk about yesterday during my live video inside of the Facebook group, although frankly, I was not on my A game yesterday. So I'm going to probably redo, a video over the weekend and talk a little bit more about it because I think it's important to understand. And it's really something that I am dealing with personally. This is like my personal battle. Like I said, I have leaky gut. And, it's one thing when you have sensitivity to gluten, most of the time you, for the most part, have a, hard time digesting protein. And that's one thing to have that. But when you eat something and your body digests the food just normally, but you have an allergic reaction to it, that's something different. And I guess the best way that I can describe it is, when you have good gut flora, when your probiotics basically are taken care of, you've done that part. You can digest food properly, and I can tell you, like I've eaten like regular foods, I guess, and haven't had a an issue, I guess, digesting it. But whatever I ate on Wednesday, there was something that triggered an allergic reaction that I haven't had in a while. And basically, the way that it looks, the way that it felt like for me is, like I said, like my belly practically like expanded, and I woke up with like sharp pain. And so it's something that the only people that I know that experience that is usually people that have really severe like gut issues, kind of like me, whether it's like leaky gut, celiac, IBS, Crohn's, or even like I've heard of endometriosis, has like a similar flare up. And the best way that I can describe it is, and this is something I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be doing another live video on this. When the body has or encounters a protein that it cannot digest, it creates inflammation. And that inflammation is usually either because of the protein that was eaten, or it's because of digestive enzymes that the body is putting out trying to digest or break down the food that you ate that basically caused that allergic reaction. And enzymes themselves are proteins. And so when the body's trying to break down, the enzymes, which are proteins, that's basically what that's where an autoimmune condition, basically, that's the definition of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. So anyways, so whenever I've encountered things like that, for me, the best thing to do is to go on a water fast. Now, like I said, this is advanced, and it's not something that this is not where I started. But now where I'm at, I'm able to do that. And so yesterday I did a block fast, and then today I did like a full day, water fast. I've had nothing but distilled water. And when I go home tonight, I'm actually going to be doing a cleanse using a product that I've talked about in the past. It's called Oxy Powder. You actually can find a link to a video where I talk about that product if you want to learn more about it. But more important than that, understanding the importance of having a clean gut. And I actually have another video that you may want to watch. It's also on clean gut, and that's on my blog. And I have a link on that in the description of this live video. But basically what my idea behind, everything that I'm doing right now is that whatever I ate, if my body keeps that food in my gut. For as long as that food stays in my gut, my body's basically going to be releasing enzymes to try to break down these proteins. And that's where my allergic reactions basically come in. And so for me, the only way that I can think of to get rid, basically reduce that allergic reaction is to basically get that food out of my system as, as fast as possible. And this is basically what I'm doing. This is how I do it. And so, like I said, this isn't really part of, hormone bootcamp, but this is real life. Like, this is what I go through. This is what I know a lot of people go through whenever they eat something where they experience an allergic reaction. And this is basically the tools that I use. And I can tell you right now that, the way that I went about it, doing the fast, it is advanced. Like, you're not going to be able to just do it if you've never done any sort of fasting. Like yesterday, I did a block fast. So basically did from Wednesday when that was my dinner that I had. Yesterday up until dinner, I didn't have anything to eat, but I did end up eating, and I was going to try to do a full day fast, but I was just not ready. I was not really prepared for it. Usually when I do a fast like today, I have to like mentally prepare for it. And so yesterday I did as much as I could. And then, I woke up today with the idea that, hey, if I feel good and everything, then I'm just going to do the full fast, and then I'm going to do a cleanse. And, like right now I feel good. So like, I'm kind of like back to normal. But basically that's basically what I went through. So if you want to learn more about why I'm using this, Oxy Powder product, why I'm doing the cleanse, and the importance of the having a clean gut, watch the videos. I linked to them in the description of this live video. And then, depending on how my weekend goes, I'm going to try to redo, part 2, I guess, of what I talked about yesterday, just because there was a lot of things that I just left out, and I wasn't really feeling it. And I need to like go back and, do a little bit of research more than anything, because, and this is why I'm glad that, this is happening, is because it's allowing me to really go back and research and share the information with you guys. Like, that's really what I'm trying to do more than anything. I'm trying to share what's really going on in my life. Basically, and this is one of the reasons why I don't listen to people who don't have this going on themselves, because I've talked to doctors who just don't understand what it's like to have these allergic reactions, and they may recommend or say things that are just, I've spent thousands on supplements. I've tried so many things that just didn't work. And I can tell you, if you've followed my videos, if you've followed my journey for a while, pretty much everything that I have found that has really helped me out the most is almost the exact opposite of what I was told I needed to do. And so I want you guys to keep that in mind, just because a lot of things that I do, I know that they may be controversial. Water fasting, vitamin D, using like kale and other like goitrogenic vegetables when I juice. I can give you example after example of things that, in the past I was told like, oh, that's not good for you. Oh, that's not good for you. That's not good for you. All these topics, iodine and stuff like that. But that's why, like, for me, sharing this information, this is why, one of the reasons why I do it is because if I had a lot of this information when I first started, it would have saved me a lot of headaches and, a lot of money, a lot of time. So hopefully you guys are getting value from, me sharing my actual experiences, going through this in real time, real life. And that's it. Like, I just want to, share my life, be open, honest, be as real, raw, and, hopefully I can help more of you guys. Still really, really happy that I get messages whenever, I get some of these success stories, people who are getting their energy back. Your hair is no longer, falling off, no more brain fog. Some of you are starting to lose weight, and I'm really happy whenever I get those messages. So I look forward to getting more of those. And that's it for today. So, I'll talk to you guys over the weekend. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you later.